I found myself here a really lovely spot to stop at. This village is called Dankmarshausen. This was once part of the DDR, East Germany, but behind me the village of Dippach was in West Germany. This river is the Werra River, so it's one of three rivers which mark the border, although the most important is of course the Elbe and the other is the Saale. Now today we've got that big mountain there, and this is the Werra bike trail which follows the river along. Today is Saturday 21st of September 2019, so the weather's quite pleasant, and I noticed in the town as I drove through that there was a fete, and I can hear some brass band, or maybe somebody cut the radio up loud in the background. And I found this place for the following reason. I'm interested in borders, and I was looking at places along the former East German border which might have some curiosity about them, so that sort of thing appeals to me. And that's why I chose this place, because this is a bit of the former East German border that sticks out. We once referred to it as the knife's edge. That was when I was in the army in the 80s. This is where the attack of the Warsaw Pact was thought to have come from. This direction. This would be the most, because it jutted out, although as I walk around now I don't think it's as suitable as would have been, for example, an attack across the North German plain. Anyway, that apart. So anyway, that's why I came here, and that's why I chose this place by the Werra River. Trying to find where the border was is not as easy as it may seem, even though it's only been 30 years, and one may have thought that the archaeological and other remains would have been much easier to find. Now I can tell that where the tree line is, roughly in sort of this direction, if you follow those trees, that's where it was. So that I can calculate, I'm pretty certain of that. But what about archaeological remains? For example, the East German regime built roads behind the border so it could control it. It also used a lot of defoliants. Surely nature would have resisted these defoliants in such a way that would make it almost impossible to grow again. Well, not quite. In some places you can still tell because of the colour of the vegetation, but that's increasingly unusual. The height of the trees, but now increasingly unusual. But here I have found something which reminds us where the border was. Ironically enough, maybe the easiest way to tell where the border was because the roads in Germany are the responsibility of the provincial authority, and so where there's a change in the road surface, that gives the game away. I am now in Hesse, but in front of me is Thuringia. Hesse was West Germany, Thuringia was East Germany, and here in the road we can see it's different. There's clue number one. Clue number two, well, I worked it out from where the river was. It's a stream. It's down here, and following that was the tree line I pointed out earlier. Clue number three, well, there's a sign there and there's a marker there, but something has remained. They've probably left it here deliberately, or maybe they rebuilt it. Who knows? In some places the wall was actually rebuilt. Some of the things you actually see is actually been rebuilt as a museum piece, but we've got this bit here. Now this was one of the mesh screens. Now they used various types of wall. So the sort of thing you often see is the wall, like the Berlin Wall type of thing. Sometimes it was a barbed wire fence, sometimes it was a mesh screen like this. The border is what? It's there, so it's what, 20 meters away, 25 meters away. Sometimes it was bang on the border, other times it wasn't. You don't want to be too close to the border, because if you are, then you build a wall and it falls into the river or something, so that's not a particularly good idea. So it depends. It was all sorts of things. Now, here we have a border hiking path in the Wartburg region. Great stuff. Now that's just the sort of stuff that appeals to me. Looking north, that's looking into West Germany. You might be able to make out where the motorway is. The motorway must be new because it goes in and out of what was West and East Germany, now the provinces of Thuringia and Hesse. Now to the east, now I'm in East Germany, but to the east is West Germany. That's due to the funny way the border worked. That's Wildeck, and beyond Wildeck, I think there was a border control point, at least there was for rail traffic down there, and but the road sort of goes into what was east, then back into west, and then finally into east. But the railway line, I think, just stayed in East Germany from there on down, if I remember correctly. You hear the music in the background, and you have noticed the flags out, so I presume they're having their annual fete. I saw people preparing things in the gardens. Maybe it's related to pumpkins, because I saw pumpkins displayed in the gardens. So we have this border post. This isn't its original position, but it's been moved here as a sort of decoration for the bar here.
Yeah.
Where once stood barbed wire, mesh fences, perhaps landmines, and this is today the only sign of where the border once was. So here, 30 years ago, the second most defended border in the world.